Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. We're going to go over the May 21st Friday baseball games. There's 15 of them. There was tons of runs last night. One team got over 20 runs. Another team late in the night was like, okay, let's try to get over 20 runs ourselves. They put up 16. So overall, a lot of double-digit teams scoring runs last night. So we're going to try and rip through these 15 games. Not a lot of drama off the field going on, that at least that I can pick up, but hoping some people can join the channel, hit that like, subscribe button down below, and hoping people from all sorts of other teams can start joining the channel, join the conversation, let me know what's going on around the league in your team, because 15 games, clearly I can't watch all the games, but we're here to review the 15 games, so let's do that. Nationals 4, Orioles 2. Orioles are on a little bit of a bad run here, whereas the Nationals, coming off that series with the Cubs, looking to bounce back in this National League East that's pretty wide open. So Strasburg on the mound for his second time really in a little while. 5.1 innings, 0 earned runs, 4 Ks, pretty big bounce back. Jorge Lopez goes 5, 2 earned runs, 8 Ks. He had a pretty good outing, but he's now down to 1-5 on the season. Freddie Galvis hits his 6th home run for the Baltimore Orioles, and on the other side of the Nationals, didn't get any home runs, so it was just a lot of hits. Josh Bell had a 3-hit night. I don't see that a lot from Josh Bell. He's still batting 195 on the season, but maybe, I know he had a home run earlier this week, maybe 2, so maybe he's starting to turn the corner a little bit. Now that Soto's back, the lineup's more concrete to what they're used to. Sometimes it takes that to get a player going, but Nationals win this one. I'm not going to spend too much time on every game today, but I got to go back. Next up, we have Boston 11, Phillies 3. This game is pretty close for the first few innings, 2-2, and then Boston just blew it open, and the offense for Boston continues to roll. Just from yesterday, J.D. Martinez has another 2-hit night. Verdugo is the big highlight here. He had a 3-hit night himself. Home runs, we had Santana hitting his 1st of the season, and Rafael Devers hitting his 12th of the season. For the Phillies, Segura hits his 3rd of the season, but they're going to fall short in this game, which is tough because they had Aaron Nola on the mound. 5 innings pitched, 4 earned runs, 9 Ks. Pretty decent outing for picking up the loss. And Martin Perez for Boston, getting his 2nd win of the season, only his 2nd win of the season. 6 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, 7 Ks, but he gets the offensive support and a big win for Boston. And this series is going to be a big part of seeing if Boston is legitimately going to stay on top of this division. All the other opponents in their division are having tough series this weekend. 2 of them playing each other, and then the Yankees playing the White Sox just like this. And the Yankees come away with a big win against the White Sox. 1-1 going into the 9th inning, and the Yankees have a walk-off in this situation. Gleyber Torres, hero after Yankees turn a triple play. So the Yankees turn a triple play in this game. I don't know if it was in the top of the 9th or when it was. So if there's a Yankees fan out there, let me know. I'm not going to go too much into that. But home run, Torres hits a 7th inning home run. So technically he's not the hero. He wasn't the guy that was the hero unless he also got the hit in the 9th. Which maybe he did. I'm not going to go dig into it because, like I said, 15 games, can't do it all. Rondon, 6 innings pitched, 13 Ks, 0 earned runs. Rondon has been having one stellar season so far. On the other side, Jordan Montgomery, 7 innings pitched, 11 Ks, 0 earned runs himself. So this was just a straight pitcher's duel until that 7th inning where the Yankees finally get that first run off that home run. And White Sox, they get one back late, but the walk-off is the difference. Twins 10, Indians 0, and this is just adding confusion to the fire for me. Minnesota put up a 9 spot in this game, and that was in the 4th inning. That pretty much sealed the deal. Indians were held to no runs. A little bit confusing because we have a team that, to me, the Indians, very much competing for playoffs and more, division title even. Then you had the Twins, who have just been atrocious all season. Looked like they've pretty much weren't going to go anywhere, and then they smashed this game. Pretty interesting. Ref Snyder gets his 1st home run of the season, and that's pretty much it for home runs. The Indians just keep hitting in that one inning. Dobnak gets his first win of the season, 6 innings pitched, no earned runs, 5 Ks. And then Tristan McKenzie, 3.1. He gets tagged with 6 of those earned runs, 5 walks, just probably a big part of the issue. But then they bring in Maton, who goes 1 out, and he adds 4 earned runs to that. So between the two pitchers in that 4th inning, that's the game, really. This brings us to the New York Mets and the Marlins. This was one that I added into our video of the weekend preview of some interesting series that I wanted to watch. Marlins needed to win 3 to basically they'd be tied for the lead in this division, but then Mets avoided that. The Mets win 6-5. This one's in extra innings. They went to 12 innings. Both in the 10th and the 11th, they weren't able to score any runs. But in this 12th, the Mets put up 3, and then that was enough because the Marlins tried. They put up 2 themselves, and they even had a chance to score another, but just not quite good enough. Offensive-wise, it was 3-3 going into the extras. The Mets were up 3-1, and they blew it in the 7th. So, yeah, home runs. We got Cooper for the Marlins hitting his 4th, but that's it. Mets had 0. And Stroman went 6, 2 earned runs, 8 Ks. On the other side, we had the Marlins who used 11 pitchers for 12 innings. So that's the definition of a bullpen game, if I do say so myself. I think they originally said Holloway was going to be the leadoff pitcher, but it ended up being Curtis. But I'm not going to go too much into reading about these bullpen guys. So there's the stat lines for you if you guys want to pause it, take a look at that. But not too much. There's a lot of games to rip through here, including this next one. Reds 9, Brewers 4. Reds a little bit of a bounce back here after having a rough week. Rough 2 weeks, really, for the Reds. But now they're playing against a team that is also having a very rough time lately. So it's basically a battle of who's going to have it worse. Tyler Naquin hits his 10th home run of the season. Winker his hat trick of home runs. He had 3 home runs on this night. He's up to 11. So look, his stat line is 4 hits, 3 RBIs. All of them solo shots. Pretty crazy. Hoffman goes 5 innings pitched, 107 Ks. And Hauser, who I often say on this channel is the one weak spot in the rotation for Milwaukee. Always seems to be the guy. If someone's getting lit up on Milwaukee, it's him. 4 innings pitched, 6 earned runs. And they don't really bounce back from that. Once they're down that much, they're down. They did have a shot, brought it to within 7-4 was the closest they got, but that's pretty much it. That brings us to the biggest blowout of the night. 20 for the Braves, 1 for the Pirates. Pretty much offense all throughout the lineup for the Braves. They almost had the complete game shutout, or not, complete game shutout. Like, not the pitcher, but the team. But the Pirates put up 1 run in the top of the 9th to avoid complete embarrassment, I guess. Anderson goes 6, 0 earned runs. Tyler Anderson for the Pirates, he's been pretty good for the season so far, but this is the game where he gives up 9 earned runs. And they bring in poor Defoe at the end. He gets 8, gives up 8 earned runs, and honestly, this is a position player, I believe. That's why I'm clicking him, because I thought he used to play for the Nationals, and it looks like he's a position player. And he goes 1 inning pitched and 8 earned runs. So that's probably why it turned out to be so bad. For home runs, Acuna Jr. is up to 14. That ties him with Ohtani now. Albus is up to 7. Austin Riley hit 2 in this game. Ozuna hit his 7th. Swanson hit his 7th. Adrazina hit his 3rd. It looks like Defoe only gave up 1 home run, though, which is pretty crazy. Only 1 home run from the position player that gave up 8 runs. Next game, another extra inning game. We got the Rays 9, Jays 7, and this one also went to 12 innings. Before the Jays, this is where I don't like extras a little bit, is because they sometimes give the guys walks just to keep the double play in order, which I guess strategically makes sense, but in this particular game, it ended up costing the Blue Jays because they gave up 2 walks on the top of the 12th to keep that strategy defensive indifference alive, and then they gave up a grand slam to the guy. And then they had a 2-run home run in the bottom. So had they just kind of played straight up and gave up maybe 1 run, which when you're the home team, I feel like seems to be probably the better strategy, right? Brandon Lowe hits 2 home runs in this game, including that. No, it wasn't him. Choi hits 1 as well, and Mejia, I'm pronouncing that wrong, but the catcher, he's the one that hits the grand slam. So all of the Rays runs in this game came off the home run ball, and that's 9 of them. And then there's Semien on the other side, who was 1 hit away from the cycle. He had the triple, the double, the home run. Vladdy Guerrero hit 2 home runs in this game, but the Jays fall short themselves. And then K goes 4, 2 earned runs, 4 strikeouts. Glasnow goes 4.25 earned runs, 2 Ks. So the Jays went from, what was it, a week or 2 ago where they were coming from behind consistently. Now they're losing from comebacks. So that's 2 games in a row they've lost when they had a lead in a game. At least 2 games in a row. Next up, Rangers 7, Astros 5, and this is another extra inning game here. Bottom of the 10th, Texas put up 3 runs. So, yeah, for Texas, Holt hits his first of the season. Wow. Arias Garcia is up to 12. He hits 12th of the season. That was in the 10th inning, 2 on. So, another one of those areas. But this is the home team, so that's a little bit different. But a 3-run bomb for them. Kyle Gibson goes 6, 1 earned run, 4 Ks, continuing to have probably potentially his best season ever, Kyle Gibson. He does look very confident when he's playing for Texas. Ivy goes 4.2, 4 earned runs in his major league debut for the Astros, and a no decision. It comes down to the bullpens, and we have a blown save along the way with Ian Kennedy getting his first blown save of the year on a They tried to bring him in for that 8th inning where he was getting into trouble, and it just fell short of that. Moving on, we got the Tigers 7, Royals 5, and this game brought Miggy to 2 runs. He got 2 home runs in this one, Miggy Cabrera. He's now up to 491 home runs. So I was concerned that we'd be able to see him get to 500 this season. After this game, I have a little more hope, but still, it's somewhat of a concern. He had a 5 RBI night, but you never know when someone like him, this could potentially be his last season and all that, so we'll see. Taylor on the other side gets his 5th home run of the season. Mike Minor goes 6, 4 earned run, 8 Ks, and Urena goes 6 innings pitched, 5 earned runs. Both guys somewhat rough outings, but Urena does manage to pick up the win. Michael Fulmer comes in for his 4th save of the season. And Detroit, they're like above 500 over the past 2 weeks. At least it feels like. It might be right around 500, but it feels like above. And then Kansas City, this is just not the kind of games they need right now. They went from being very much in the hunt for playoffs, division, etc., to being well out of it and losing to the Tigers. So that's not a good scene to be in. Cubs 12, Cardinals 3. This game was super close until that 8th inning, but it was very close along the way. And this is a very pivotal division. The Cubs are really heating up. They might be the hottest team in baseball right now, next to the Yankees, I would say, but they're up there now. But they put up an 8 spot in that 8th inning and ended up winning 12-3. Pedersen leads the game off. First pitch, home run, 2nd home run of his season. And then the rest for the Cubs are just generated. Their offense, their bats, all starting to wake up. If you remember the beginning of the season, we were rhyming off stats of just how bad their offense was, but they've turned the corner very much so. Kyle Hendricks goes 6.2, 1 earned run, 4 Ks with no home runs for the Cardinals, so really keeping them at bay in this situation. Carlos Martinez goes 6, 2 earned runs, 2 Ks, but he kept his team in the game, and no decision for him. Really, I was a little concerned. Like, to me, this was the must-win game for the Cubs of the series, and they pulled it off. So we still have 2 more games. It's going to be close down the stretch. Rockies 7, Diamondbacks 1, and in line with the Tigers, the Rockies have been on a little bit of a good run too themselves, whereas the Diamondbacks are just skating, so we might be seeing a shake-up in the power rankings, at least at the bottom of the standings. Overall, Ryan McMahon hits 2 home runs of himself. He's up to 11. He's leading the Rockies. Tapia hits his 5th. And then for the Diamondbacks, we had none. So really, this is a game where the Rockies got out 5-0 early, and they didn't really have to look back. Marquise, their ace on the mound, 7 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, 8 Ks. And then Frankoff for the Diamondbacks, 4 innings pitched, 5 earned runs, 2 Ks. He gets the loss. And Marquise is starting to turn things around. He's had so many rough outings, but he does have the talent, and he gets the win here, and he shows why he's the team's ace. Brings us to the Athletics 8, Angels 4, and the Athletics with a nice late game comeback here on the backs of Canha, really. Canha hits that his 9th home run of the season, and Pinder hits his 2nd of the season. Laureano hits his 11th of the season. So a lot of this was all home runs. We also had Lowry hit his 4th of the season. So we had Iglesias give up a couple home runs in the 9th. In the 7th, they gave up 1 to Pinder, and that was a 3-run shot, and that was really the difference. Pinder comes in and gets that home run clutch spot. The Angels were leading at one point 4-3 until that 7th inning, and it's just another case. The Angels pitching just isn't getting it done. Quintana goes 5.1, 3 earned runs. He gets the no decision before the bullpen rolls in there and blows another game for them. Gives up a lot of runs again. You can just see the ERAs of their team. Very rough. On the other side, we have Capri-Leon going 5.2, 2 earned runs, 9 Ks. Might be his major league debut. James Capri-Leon, and it looks like his major league debut. No, he had a couple games before that, but it's his first start of the season, if I can recall. But yeah, Athletics take this one. It's a big win for them, keeping pace with the Astros, and maybe with the Astros losing, they might have taken over. Didn't look at the standings this morning, but maybe. Dodgers 2, Giants 1. This is probably my highlight series of the weekend. We got 2 top teams in the power rankings, in the NL West, etc., etc. And I talked about this game in my preview video of the weekend, that this series was going to be low scoring and very tight, and sure enough, the first game's 2-1. We'll go down to Trevor Bauer going 6.1, 0 earned runs, 11 Ks, and he was just thriving in the boos that he was hearing from the fans there. Alex Wood gets his first loss of the season, going 6, 207 Ks. Still a very good outing. Both these guys, great pitchers. And Trenian comes in for the save. Taylor hits his 6th home run of the season. It's the 2-run shot, and that's all it took for the Dodgers. If we look here, 10 hits for the Dodgers, only 2 for the Giants. So Dodgers really held them down. And that was pretty much it. That was the game. That 1 home run. That leads us to the last game of the night. The Padres put up 16 on the Mariners. I'm sorry, Mariners fans. I've really cursed you guys. It's probably just downhill from here. Really sorry about that. It might be the Kelenic curse. Ever since he came up, it's been pretty rough for you guys. You guys concreted him in the top of the lineup, and he's batting 161. Shaking things up like that can always not be the greatest thing. Your team's been doing pretty good, and then you shake it up. I know this guy's supposed to be the future, and you got to get him in these kind of situations, but it's tough. It's tough. For the Padres, we had Grisham hits his 6th home run of the season. Tatis Jr. hits his 11th, which also coincides with his 50th as a Padre. Cronenworth hits his 5th, and that's the home runs in the game. Paddock, 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run. Turning it around. Chris Paddock's really starting to get back into form. He had a really rough start to the season, but he's coming along. And Chris Flexen, 1.2, 8 earned runs. Gave up 2 home runs. And I know I've turned into somewhat of a fan of Flexen. I thought he's got some potential. He's been looking good this season, but he does tend to have these kind of outings, and his ERA is inflated a bunch, so maybe I'm getting too far ahead of myself. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up. That's 15 games. I'm trying to talk about these games, but like I said, 15 games, can't watch them all, can't get all the little highlights, all the nuances of the game. Definitely when I'm usually tuned in for my Jays for the most part, I can only catch certain parts of other games. But if you guys start joining this channel and let us know what games you watch, some things that we can get the discussion going, because that's what really I want to do with this channel. just discuss what's going on around the league. But that'll bring us to the injury updates around the league. I found this article, so I thought this would be good. When we can start expecting some of these guys back. So like with DeGrom, his right side tightness, week of the May 24th. So we expect him to be back next week. And if you saw the articles, he really was playing single A baseball in his rehab assignment, just tore them up. He torched them all. He went 3 innings or something and struck out everyone except one guy who still got out. Stanton, he's still possibly going to come back on May 25th. They're hoping it's a short one. Cody Bellinger, the week of 24th with his hairline fracture. JT Realmuto, he's expected to be maybe around May 28th. Pete Alonso, late May. Brian Hayes, early June. Votto, early mid-June. George Springer, this guy is possibly early mid-June. Like, this just keeps going on and on and on. He's been going for a long time. Then we got Buxton, who's late or in June sometime. Corey Seager, possibly mid to late June. Noah Syndergaard, late June. Sale, late June. Mike Trout, early to mid-July. Wow, Trout could miss 6 to 8 weeks with a grade 2 right calf strain. That pretty much puts a wrap on the Angels season, if you ask me. But yeah, that's, I guess there's 2 more. We got Conforto, we don't know, and Zach Gallen, we don't know. But yeah, that's a long wake up with baseball for me today. Saturday, games are going to be lit. We'll see you guys out there. Let me know what you guys think. We'll see you for the next video.